What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cypher. I'm back with another video. Check me out. Before we get into today's topic, I would just like to say once again, thank you to everyone who visits my channel, watches my videos, just checks out anything that I put out in terms of content and editing. You know, still working on that part, still working on bettering my craft that way. But once again, like thank you for actually visiting my channel. Thank you to those who comment down below. Thank you to those who like the videos. I appreciate all the feedback. Like if you do, give me feedback, I'll appreciate that even more. So yeah, it's just a big old thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. So check me out. Before we get into the topic again, I know I said that, but before we get into the topic, one of the things I like to do when I get into a creative space, when I get into that mindset that I'm like, all right, it's time to sit down. It's time to put what I've been learning to use. So first off, I like to work at night, right? I know I like to wind down. I like to kind of go to bed a little bit earlier now so I can have a fresh start to my day, so I can kind of wake up early and take care of anything that I have to take care of. But when I actually sit down and do my work and get creative with myself, one thing I do before that and that helps me get into that state is I go for a walk. I go for a walk at night, right? And the first thing I try to do is once I start walking, I try to find the moon, right? And it's really not hard to find the moon. Sometimes it could be covered with a cloud, but once I find the moon, I just stand there for a second and I just moon gaze. I guess that's what you could call it, right? And I don't know what it is, but I get this euphoria after I, stare at the moon and kind of just take in it's gonna sound a little weird, but it's energy, and afterwards I feel amazing. I feel ready to conquer anything that I have to take care of. So I highly encourage everyone to just try that. That works for me. That helps me get in my creative space, and that helps me feel all right, I'm ready to go out there, and I'm ready to when I step into the lab, when I step into my creative space, I'm ready to just let it all free, let it all be loose. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my favorite things to do. So I encourage you guys, go out there, give it a shot. I don't know, I feel like the moon has some kind of superpower or effect on us. And for the longest growing up, I felt like the moon had a negative connotation on it, that it was the moon could be a dark side or represent evil, and oh, the sun's good and it provides us light. The moon also provides light too, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I just encourage that, and that's just one of the things that I like to do. So but let's just go ahead and get into today's topic.
Wake up to reality.
All right, so with today's topic, this comes from personal experience. This comes from personal struggles, and I found that why not just go ahead and put what I struggle with the most, or things that I want to overcome as a person, as a human, and put them on my channel. Be vulnerable with you guys. For anyone that watches my videos. So I sat down the other day and I thought about this topic, and I was like, yeah, this would be pretty good to kind of bring up and give to my audience, because maybe after watching this you'd find something that you could relate to with what I spoke about. So just gonna get straight into it. The topic is focusing on what you can and can't control. For the longest, that has been the story of my life, just thinking I can control everything, I'm this mass manipulator. And that sounds bad, but oh, this will never happen to me because I control everything and everyone in my life, and that's just not the case. That's just not how life works, and that's kind of a humbling experience when you actually realize it, and you're like, yo, there's actually more in life that you don't control than you do. But a lot of the stuff that you do control, I feel like it's the most pivotal. it's the most important. So we're just gonna get straight into it. I kind of sat down and I wrote out like 5 things that I can't personally control, and then 5 things on what I can control. Kind of to counteract those. And it's like, oh, life's like, yeah, you can't have this, but me, I'm like, but I can have this. So that's just kind of the stance that I took on it. So we'll just go ahead and get into the first point. So appearances, right? If you know me in person, or you met me over like Xbox or any kind of gaming platform, or maybe you just stumbled across my channel, a lot of people that I spoke to, they're like, hey, you're not very tall. No, I'm not. Like, on a good day, I'm like 5'6". You know what I'm saying? And I kind of feel like that's always like the first thing that's like said, and it's like you get desensitized to it, after a while, because guess what? I've been short my entire life. Like, it's nothing new to me. I've always been the smallest one in the class, the smallest one in the room, and I feel like I'm at a pretty average height, but obviously compared to other people, 5'6", they consider that short, which is fine. I don't control my height. I would love to wake up one day and be 6 foot, but that's not gonna happen. I'm pretty sure I'm done growing. That's okay. That's part of my appearance. That's part of who I am. So, my appearance, me being short. I was also chubby as a kid too. So you take short and you take chubby. It's not really like a good combination. And then don't forget nerdy. Nothing wrong with being nerdy, but you have those 3, and then you're just like, yeah, like you're prime target to get picked on. You're literally your fresh meat for those at school that choose to pick on those those type of kids. So for a while, that's what I struggled with, and I had a big insecurity with like my height. But as I got older, I was like, look, like I know I'm not going to get to 6 feet, or I'm never going to get much more taller than I am now, and that's just something I have to live with. That's just something I have to be okay with. Honestly, I am. Like I said, I'm desensitized to it at this point. So the next point I want to bring up, how to counteract that, is it's just how you like prepare yourself and how you take care of yourself. Understanding that I'm not just, like, a tall guy. I also understand I'm no Prince Charming as well. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also not the ugly duckling. You can take care of yourself. You could honestly, like I said, I used to be chubby, so and that led into like the later part of my teen years as well. And that's when I got into like fitness. That's when I got into like actually like taking care of my body. Like started with food, and then after that it started with like getting a gym membership, and then it was just one of those, like, when you're young, you don't really like know too much, so it's like, all right, every day's arm day. Then we're doing chest, and we're never doing legs, and thank God I don't have that mindset anymore. And I've developed over time, and I'm 24 now, and I feel like what I know now compared to what I knew at like 22, like it's completely different mindset when it comes to like fitness. So taking care of yourself, you can start by doing that. Hygiene. Nowhere in the book it says you can't have good hygiene. Like, that's brushing your teeth, it's making sure you wash your face, you have a good like skin routine. You smell good, whether you like colognes. I like colognes. I collect colognes. I have like 10 plus, I think, and I think I'm fine with that, and I say that now, but at the same time, I don't know what it is. It's just the smells. I like them, and I just like that you can wear different ones for different occasions. So how you dress as well. So if I have any viewers that are like me, that are like 5'6", and can't touch the rim, I could probably touch the rim. But you know what I was saying? Honestly, how you dress could really like make you stand out. Also, one thing I don't ever really wear are shorts, and I'm talking like jean shorts or like cargo shorts. Like, you'll never catch me wearing those. I may wear gym shorts, that's different, or I may wear like like these kind of like Nike like sweat shorts that I'm wearing. That's if I'm at home lounging around, but I'm never really gonna wear shorts like outside just because I'm already short anyways, and just the appearance of shorts, I just feel like it just doesn't stack well on myself, and it doesn't look good. So how you dress, just you could take care of yourself. Honestly, you groom well, make sure your hair looks nice, make sure you look presentable, and you're not overbearing with your smells, or you know that's something you can do for yourself, and that's something that builds that confidence. So we'll just move on to the next point. So opinions, right? Everybody's got them. I promise you, you cannot control what other people think, right? Your mom has an opinion of you, right? Your coworkers have opinions of you. Your neighbors have opinions of you. You can't change that, right? They're gonna think how they want to think, and honestly, it could be based off those interactions that they have with you. It could be based off word of mouth. They could have heard something about you, and all of a sudden now they formulated this entire idea and construct of you. Or, maybe they don't know you at all. Maybe they haven't actually sat down and got the chance to like talk to you and, get to know you as a person. I've had that happen before. I have that happen all the time. Someone thinks one thing of me, yet have they ever sat down and talked to me? Have they ever sat down and, had a real conversation with me? No. But they still have an opinion of me. Does that really bother me? Not really, because I'm pretty sure I have an opinion of them as well. But at least I would take that time to get to know this person before I actually formulated my opinion. But like I said, that's just me and that's them. But we don't worry about them. No need to stress it. However, what you can do to counteract that leads me into that next point, is your attitude and or your reaction, right? So let's just give an example. When I was younger, I used to get picked on. It's gonna sound crazy. I used to get picked on for my name, right? If you don't know, my name is Gabriel. I used to get picked on, and the bullies or whoever, the kids in school would just be like, "Oh, your name has gay in it, so automatically you're gay." And like thinking about it, I laugh. It's hilarious, but it used to eat at me, and it used to make me sad, and I'm very sensitive, so I used to cry. I used to cry all the time. Let's fast forward like 10 plus years. If they were to say something like that now, I'd just be like okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, it is what it is. And even if I was gay, like, does it really matter to you? And if it does, then they probably have their priorities. The priorities aren't in the right place if that's what they're really focused on, if that's really their driving force for picking at you. So you also think about that. So you could think about how you react and how you choose to present your attitude towards that. If someone has a negative opinion about you, you can honestly meet them head first with some negativity, or you can just choose to ignore it, because only you truly know yourself, right? So if what they think of you isn't the truth, why pay it any attention? Why care? You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna stress yourself out. You're just gonna worry, and honestly, you're just gonna ruin your day, because you're probably gonna end up thinking about that for the rest of the day. It's probably gonna eat at you, and guess what? That person won at that point. Why give them that power? No need for it. All right, time, right? And when I say time, I'm referring to the past. I'm referring to the future. Okay, let's start with the past. The past for me was like 20 minutes ago. It was 10 hours ago. It was yesterday. It's already happened. I cannot go back yesterday and change what I had for dinner. It's already happened. Let's move on to the other side. The future, right? Tomorrow. Today's Monday. When I wake up, it should be Tuesday, right? Guess what? I'm not guaranteed that Tuesday. I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. I can assume that tomorrow's going to be Tuesday, and that I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. or whatever time I decide to get up, and go through my routine throughout the day. But I can't change that. You know, there's no, I can't change what happened yesterday, and I cannot predict tomorrow. It just doesn't work. So leading into the counterpoint is how you choose to spend your time now, right? So if you take the past, you take the future, you can't control those. I'll tell you what you can control. Like, you can control right now. You can control your time and what you're doing right now. Look, it's very simple. Either you're wasting time or you're chasing your grind. Okay? Whatever your grind may be in life. If you want to be the world's best chess player, right? You're either going to be spending your time lounging around like, I'll just wait for a match. I'll wait for an opponent. Or you're going to go out there and you're going to seek opponents. Or you're going to pick up books on how, chess strategies. And then you're going to go out and put those to use. You're going to be working towards your grind. So how you choose to spend now is actually, if you really think about it, going to set you up for your future. It's going to set you up for tomorrow. Like I said, you don't control what happens tomorrow. However, you can set yourself up for that success. You can give yourself the tools. Look at it this way, right? Will Smith said it best. When you're building a wall, don't get too focused on building that wall. Instead, lay that brick perfectly, day by day, and soon enough you'll have a wall. Right? But in order to lay a brick, what do you need? Well, 1, you need the tools. 2, you need like the cement. 3, you need to actually, lay the cement and then lay the brick. Right? That's what you're doing now. So then when tomorrow comes, you'll have that wall. So, honestly, just ask yourself, what are you doing now? Are you BSing? Are you just going through social media, mindlessly scrolling? Not feeding into those good emotions, looking at something that's completely toxic, that's going to ruin your mood for the day? Or are you sitting down? Are you reading a book? Are you chasing your passions? Are you working towards what you actually want? Are you laying those bricks? If not, that's fine. And if you clicked on this video, then maybe you're someone who wants to build a wall. And if you are, then I'm rooting for you 100%. And even if you're not, I'm still rooting for you. I'm still rooting for the day that you decide to lay that brick, that very first brick. All right. Effort. Let's screw that up. Effort from others, right? At the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. Just plain simple. They're going to do what they want to do. They're going to do it when they want to do. Think of like a school project, right? You guys ever been paired up with people, and it's usually probably like groups of 4 if it's a big project, and there's usually someone who takes charge, and they start divvying out the task. And then you have someone, usually you have a good like 2 to 3 people who are real motivated about getting that project done, and then you might have like the lagging like 4th, or that weak link who doesn't really take it as serious. Like, look, we need you to do this so that way we can get our project done. I've been in that situation before where that person just doesn't want to do anything, and we had to do it all, right? That's the effort from that person. We can tell them we need them to do this, and we can expect them to do it. But if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. Of course, you're going to fail, and that's on you. That's not on me. But that just goes with everything. That was just an example. We can get into like relationships. You can give all the effort in the world to that person. You could go up to space and you can bring them the prettiest star, and you could be their backbone. You be everything for them. But guess what? if they're not wanting to give the same, effort into that relationship, Well, one, why are you even in that relationship? But two, that's on them. Don't worry about what they want to do. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. Don't worry about the amount of effort that they put in. And I'm just gonna jump straight into the next point, the counterpoint. Worry about the amount of effort you put in, right? Because at the end of the day, you need to be satisfied with yourself. When I come into my lab and I'm like, all right, let's get this video cranked out. Let's get these topics, let's get them lined up, and let me get myself in that creative space, and let's get it popping. Let's make sure, I can put the best content out there for my viewers to watch. That's on me at the end of the day. No one else is going to press record for me. You know what I'm saying? No one else is going to do my intros. No one else is going to do my editing. I do all of that myself. You know what I'm saying? That's the amount of effort that I put in to each and every one of my videos. Obviously, my first video is not going to compare to this video that's coming out right now. But guess what? That came from me applying myself. That came from me being like, okay, what can I sacrifice so I can start learning more, and I can start, honestly, I can start progressing. Because that's what it's all about. That's that effort that I'm putting into this. I can control that. Excuse me. I told you I burp a lot. My bad. Let's just say, for instance, I had someone who was editing my videos, right? I record it, I send it in, and I give them a couple ideas to edit. Now, I'm waiting on them to do the edit and take however long, they want to get it done. And they could put in as little effort as they want to. Why? Because they know I'm waiting for them, because I don't know how to do that stuff, right? So that's why I took that middleman out the equation. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it myself. So that way I know exactly what I'm putting into my videos, and I know how much effort I can put into them. So all of that is, on my shoulders, and I'm okay with that. Can't control, the amount of effort that people give. However, you can control the amount of effort that you choose to give. So, we're just gonna go ahead and get to the final point, right? Other people's happiness. I see this all the time. I've been a prime example of this. I have. If I'm going to, be as honest with you guys as possible, I've done this before. I thought for the longest I could be someone's, happiness. I could be the root of what makes them happy. It doesn't work that way. It literally doesn't work that way. You could go through hell and back. You could fight, you could fight dragons for them. Dragons don't exist, but you could fight dragons for them. You could take off your coat and, lay it on the ground and have them walk over the puddle. You know what I'm saying? You could literally bend your back for them. But guess what? If that person doesn't want to be happy, you can't force them to be happy. And you also can't be the root of their happiness. You're just going to drive yourself insane. Because the moment that they don't, you feel like they're not happy, or you're seeking that constant validation from them, like, oh, are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you? Is there that? Tell me how you're feeling today. Like, bro, I'm getting stressed out even just saying that. You shouldn't have to do that for that person. Don't worry about that person's happiness. Like, when it comes to my family, right? They have their own life to live. I have my life to live. I have my life to enjoy. I may be something big in their life that brings them happiness, but I am not their happiness, right? There's a big difference. Leading into the counter, your own happiness. That is something you can control, however, right? If at the end of the day, you lay on that bed and you tell yourself, I'm not happy. Like be honest with yourself. Like, either you're happy or you're not happy. Or you're working towards your happiness, right? If you're working towards it, good. Keep it up. keep pushing, because I promise you, you're gonna get there, right? And for some of us, it could take your entire life. You know, on the other hand, it could take people 10 years to be like, yeah, like I've made it. However long it takes you is however long it takes you, right? That's your journey. That is your journey to walk. And you're responsible for that. If you're really not happy, like if you're not happy at a job that you're working, why are you working that job? You know? I get it. We have bills that need to get paid. We have food that we have to put on the table. But there are other opportunities out there. You know, you don't have to be a slave to your mind. There's no need for that. You don't have to limit yourself. You know, when it comes to you. Think about it. If it's been done before, if you've seen it been done before, why can't you do it? If that's really what you want to do, go out there and seek it. You know, manifest it, right? Let me put you guys on real quick. This is my journal, right? This is probably my third or fourth journal. My other ones, two of them I lost. I don't know where they are. One of them is all filled up, so I just kind of leave that one, and I'll go to it every now and then, just to read a couple of entries or go back to see where like my mind was at that point. But this is my new journal. This is my new journal. It says stay inspired, right? In here, I write down entries when I feel like I need to write down entries. Other times, I write down like what I want to manifest. What I want to manifest. And I open it and I look at it and it's just for me. And I'm like, okay. Like for instance, let's just say I was like, I want blueberry waffles, right? Like something silly like that. I write it down and I open it up. And every time I open it up, I'm going to see blueberry waffles. And I'm like, you know what? Like, let's go get some blueberry waffles. Or in hopes one day, or some part of that day, they're going to end up, coming to me. That's just one of the many ways I use my journal. So I highly recommend using a journal. Getting a journal and just writing down anything in it. This is your journal, And this is part of my journey. This is part of what makes me happy. It's not someone. It's not something. It's not something materialistic. It isn't a piece of clothing or a piece of jewelry that makes me happy, right? It's chasing my dreams. It's interacting with my viewers. It's seeing other people succeed, and it's pushing others to become the very best versions of themselves that make me happy. That's what I'm chasing, right? If I'm being completely honest with you guys, if I'm being vulnerable with you, that's one of the reasons why I made this channel. Is because I've seen the outreach and how many people you could actually, speak to just over a mic and a camera, Like there's so many people out there who enjoy content like this, and there's so many people who are struggling with life who is yet to come across stuff like this. I used to be one of those, and when I came across stuff like this on YouTube, I was like, wow, like this is like the language that I've been wanting to speak for the longest. This is what I needed to hear. That's what I wanted to do. So that was one of the reasons why I created this video, So check me out. In conclusion, guys, life is more of how you react to situations versus trying to change those circumstances. There's a lot of things in my life, right? In my life that I can't control. And I just have to accept it. And when you actually accept it, trust me, you're a lot happier. Because trying to focus on things that you can't control, you're just going to stress yourself out. You're just going to cause unnecessary worrying. There's no need for it. I promise you. There's no need for it, right? Also, I want you to be proud of who you are. I want you to embrace who you are and be confident, right? I feel like nowadays that being confident, a lot of people could see that as like being cocky or not being humble, having a big ego. What's wrong with being confident in yourself now? What's wrong with being sure of yourself? I come across a lot of people who have maybes and I'm not sure is in their vocabulary, right? I've done my best to try to eliminate those. I want to eliminate those. Even what I just said now, trying, right? I don't want to try, I want to do. I want to eliminate those, and I will eliminate those from my vocabulary. There should be no reason why I'm limiting myself at all when it comes to anything I want to do. Anything I want to do in life, anybody I want to interact with, anything I want to achieve. That's up to me. All of that is up to me. You know, there's nothing that says I can't. Okay, obviously there you know, there's obviously there's, for example, there's something that says like, oh, Cypher, you're never going to be 6 foot. You are correct. I'm glad you have a pair of eyes. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Why stress over that? I can't control that. So, and I'm a lot more happier when I actually say it out loud, and I feel good about it. I'm just like, yeah, you're right. I'll never be 6 foot, right? But guess what? You'll never be me either. You'll never have my personality. You'll never have my people skills, because that's what I've built. That's who I am, and I'm confident in that way. And I don't want you guys to get that confused with being cocky at all, because I'm not. I have no reason to be cocky. I have no reason to just, you know, try to shit on the next man, right? And that's literally gonna lead right into the next part of this conclusion, right? Don't focus on someone else's grind, because you're only limiting your chance to shine. I was talking to a buddy over Xbox. He's one of the younger cats, and he's real advanced for his age. He's real smart, and he told me, he was like, you know, I heard that like life is like a test, and if you try to look over at someone else's test, you know, you're going to fail because your questions are different, right? It was something along the lines of that. I probably, you know, completely shat on the wording of that, but think about that, right? If I have a test in front of me and this is the test to my life, why am I focused on his test if it has different questions? I'm going to fail. That's his test. This thing on my desk at life, this is my test, right? Only I have the answers to them. I can study for it. I don't need to focus on anyone else, right? When you spend that time focusing on someone else and you see them doing well for themselves, be happy for them. Be proud of them. And that's it. Let them do their thing, right? Because if you keep spending time focusing on them, you're just taking away from time that you could be focusing on yourself, right? And that's not a good look anyways. When you're constantly just like have another person's, you know, name in your mouth. Because your friends, like, they're gonna get tired. They're gonna be like, bro, like, you keep, you know, talking about this person, you keep saying this about that person, you know, eventually if they're really good friends, they're gonna call you out on it. And it's the truth. Like, don't focus on him, don't focus on her, don't focus on them at all. Focus on you, right? And when you do that and you finally sit down with yourself, maybe it's after this video, or maybe, you know, you're already along that journey. And when you're already along that journey, and if you stumble across this video, like, let me know down below. Let me know something you struggle with, and let me know how you plan on bettering that, you know, in the days to come. How you plan on laying that next brick, right? Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.